Oh yeah, welcome to How Can She Snap? This is the Marvel Snap podcast dedicated to the filthy casual. I'm the kid, one half of the Super Snap Bros, here with my brother from the same mother, Mr.
It's no big deal, baby. Let's go.
Oh yeah, no big deals. Got places to be, people to see. It's gonna be a quicker episode for you, boys and girls. Today we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about the meta and how Loki's been taking it by storm. We're gonna get into some of the patch changes, and we're gonna get into some of those stonks, baby. If you want to follow us on the social medias, YouTube at the Super Snap Bros and Twitter /X the kid_snap. Let's get it. The kid. All right, no big deal. What's going on, baby? How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's been a good week of Snap. Good month of Snap. Really, last 5 weeks have been awesome. But I can see a storm coming, kid, and I'm a little bit worried. But right now, it's fun still. So you gotta live in the moment. You gotta have fun.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Loki, man, this card just taking the meta by storm. This card's pretty insane right now.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
Well, I think it's really good. I think for a 3/5, it does a little bit too much, I think, compared to other 3/5s, right? Like 3/5 is kind of a premium stat at the 3 cost. Like a Polaris, Spider-Man, that's more of a higher statted 3, typically. So the effect that it gives you is insane. I mean, it's so good. You just play your opponent's deck better than them. It's like
Yeah.
4 procs on High Evo Shocker, or Zabu's your whole hand, regardless of what it costs. So you got a Quinjet or a Zabu out there too. It gets more ridiculous. So yeah, I mean the card is really really strong and really fun. I gotta say, I love the card design. Like I think it's an awesome card. Like I'm not mad about it. I've seen a little bit of outrage in the streets.
Oh,
Uh,
there's outrage on the
I think it's
streets.
really good card design. Personally, I don't think this is toxic like Galactus or Leech or
No,
something like
no,
that.
no, no.
I think it's phenomenal card design. I would like to just maybe tone down 3/4 or something, and it should be okay. I think.
I think I'm with you as well. Like
Yeah.
I look at 3/5 and I was thinking about it. I'm going through the cards now, like just on the screen here. Like Captain America is a 3/3. Like
Yeah.
Punisher is
We
a 3/2.
we talk about Punisher. Yeah. Yeah. It
I
should
mean,
not be a three.
let's
Yeah.
not that's not Mr.
Yeah.
Fantastic, 3/2, but he gets two other, um so yeah, there's some cards that are like, bro, if like Surfer's a 3/2, Captain America is a 3/3, Punisher's a
Yeah,
3/2.
like Killmonger has a really powerful effect, right? But
Yes,
it's a
yes.
3 power card,
Yeah,
to kind of compensate for that, and it kills your own ones, which is
yes.
sometimes beneficial. But
Yeah,
that's example of Shang-Chi is like 3 power. So you got these
yeah.
super crazy swings. So maybe it's not quite on the level of like a Killmonger effect, but it's definitely like way higher than like a Polaris or a Spider-Man, which is a 3/5. And
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say still way more powerful than a Kingpin type of effect, who's also a 3/4, right? So,
Yeah, I mean, is it
um,
more powerful than even Juggernaut, who's a 3/3? Like,
yeah, maybe. I mean, in the meta now, I mean, just all the nasty combos you could do with this card because you're kind of building
yeah,
your deck around Loki if you're
yeah.
doing it. And I mean, if a card is making Agatha look like pretty good, then it's probably a pretty filthy card, right? Like,
Yeah.
because the
I
last time a card made Agatha look decent was pre-patch Zabu. I mean, that's basically it's kind of an interesting discussion. We haven't really talked about Agatha too much on this pod. I mean, I
No.
semi wanted to bring it up, but I mean, we had a quick pod. But basically, like for people who don't know, you got this card Agatha. This is a filthy casual podcast too, so I feel okay bringing it up.
Yeah.
But like America Chavez is a really good card in Marvel Snap because it
Yeah.
reduces your deck to 11 cards, until turn 6. Agatha starts in your hand.
Yep.
So when Zabu first came out, for people who don't know, it was a card that reduced 4 cost cards by 2. It was
Mhm.
by far the filthiest card in the entire
Yeah,
game.
and it was a
And
3/2.
so yeah, 3/2. So if you could get that card down by any means necessary, like your win rate's just going to go crazy. And so if you put Agatha and Chavez in your deck, now you only start with 10 cards that you're drawing from. Gives you a higher probability of getting the Zabu, or in this case, getting the Loki. Loki switches to Agatha to something else, who's also an extra card,
Yeah.
and you start rallying. I mean, I think Specimen took it to infinite. So it's like it is like an actual deck. I don't think it's like good or anything, but when Agatha starts making a card look good, it's like if I get this card by 3, I just win. Which Loki is kind of like that right now. That's when you know a card's like pretty filthy and maybe needs to be looked at.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
wild. It's so like people are bringing out the pitchforks, pretty quickly. But I think once Mobius, I mean, well, maybe next week we'll talk about the other cards coming out because we don't have much time. But and once Mobius comes out, I mean,
Yeah.
then you know Loki is not going to be as good because Mobius is a card that I think is probably going to go on everyone's deck.
Hmm.
Probably going to challenge Jeff for the best 2 drop in the game, I think.
Yeah.
Just because it breaks wave and makes wave one sided.
Yes.
Wave Mobius will be in every deck and maybe a turn 5. So that will make Loki like, okay, your cards are all going to cost the same. So you just copied my deck for what? You know?
Yeah, that card's gonna be like high evo meta Luke Cage on steroids, basically. Like
Yeah,
that's what that card. That's just the Luke Cage of the high evo meta. Like that's what Mobius is gonna be. Like
yeah,
you're either playing Loki type of stuff or Ravonna stuff, or you're
yeah,
playing Mobius. Like you have to, or you play both. To
yeah,
counter the Ramir match. So,
yeah.
but then yeah, I don't know. You got to kind of play around it yourself too. So,
Yeah, but also
um, yeah,
today's Friday, right? Today's Friday,
yeah,
and this card came out Monday night, Loki.
yeah,
So it's still fresh. There's still a couple days. I mean, the first 2 days, like the guy was on vacation, so I haven't been playing that much. I've only
yeah.
played a handful of games. I think I'm at like only rank 83 right now. So
Oh, hello.
crapped out.
Son of a beach.
Are you back?
Oh,
We're back.
hello, hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Yeah. So before the internet crapped out again, so we're only like a handful of days in. So like the first
Yeah.
couple days, Loki, wild. Almost like
Mhm.
every time we have a new card release, there's just like the meta just gets so wild. It just gets so ridiculous.
Yeah.
The Loki mirrors in particular are like especially egregious because it's like, okay,
I
who
was
draws
gonna bring
Loki?
that. I was gonna bring that up.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's it, right? Like,
Mhm.
there's, but to say this card's like, I mean, is it game breaking? Kind of, but is it like unbeatable? No, there's already decks that are out there that are beating this. Like, Cerebro 3 is a good
Yeah.
example that like people are playing. Like, Cerebro 3 is not really a deck that you'd think, many people were playing, but like,
Mhm.
not that it counters this deck, but it does well against this deck.
Yeah.
Um, I think that, I'm seeing a lot of Gila Tribunal, you
Yeah.
know?
So those were the two I was gonna bring up too. Is Cerebro and just you can even just say discard on the rise because
Yeah.
they're combo decks. They're all very reliant on all of the cards in the deck. So just getting 4 of those cards is usually not going to do too much, especially in Cerebro. I mean, Cerebro, you play Loki against a Cerebro deck, like your hand is dead. Like the cards suck. You get like Sentinel,
Yeah.
Mystique,
I'll say it's
Magic, like Luke Cage, like that's like okay.
yeah, like,
Oh, reduce
especially
them all by one.
C3.
Okay, I could put up 3 power. This is great. Like
Yeah.
like it's a horrible.
Yeah, you're getting, like,
Like
Shang-Chi,
everything
you're
just
getting, like, all these cards that are gonna do nothing against the Cerebro deck.
yeah. So especially like Cerebro like owns this deck, and
Yeah.
so yeah, people are already coming up with solutions. It's definitely a counterable card in general. Like
Yeah.
it has really good matchups and really bad matchups for sure. And yeah, the mirror is like pretty miserable. It sucks. It's like,
Yeah.
did you get Loki or did you not get Loki? And if the answer is not, you're retreating. So that's the mirror. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, I've played other card games where there's matchups like that and they're not fun. So yeah, I
Yeah, like
mean,
Shuri, right?
yeah,
This is like you
mhm,
said before when Zabu was pre-nerf Zabu. It's
yeah,
if you got Zabu, you snap. And
yes,
if they don't play Zabu, you win and they retreat.
mhm,
If you had
yeah,
Zabu on 3 when it was 3
mhm,
3 cost, It's like
yeah,
Shuri meta. Do you have Shuri? Okay. Oh, they played Shuri on 4. All right, I got
and,
to retreat because I
yeah,
can't
and you
win.
didn't, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Now this is
yeah,
like, all right, if this is just like if your hand is starting and you have Quinjet Collector and Loki, just
mhm.
snap on turn 1.
Yeah, for sure. No, you should absolutely,
I think
and
even if you have 2 out of those 3, like if you have Collector and Loki, you're snapping. If you have
yeah,
Quinjet and Loki, you're snapping.
true, yeah. So Yeah, there's that to it. I mean, it's interesting because, we've had kind of a really refreshing, like really fun meta in the last, like, I would say month and a half.
Yeah.
But it's not the norm for Marvel Snap. We had like Shuri, like, was 2 months, Thanos pre zero cost Quinjet was crazy. Pre-patch Surfer, pre-patch Zabu, Leech Leader, all these decks, oh, even Galactus, like pre-patch Galactus, all these
Yeah.
decks were super oppressive and super not fun. There was a Sandman meta for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, there was a lot of really horrible metas where the game was kind of like, you have to be able to beat this deck or you can't really play. And for the last month and a half, we just haven't had that. Like, we've had like 9 viable decks the last month and a
Yeah.
half, and it's been awesome. Like, even
Yeah.
though the little mover deck was like really good, I would say the Stature Black Bolt meta was kind of like that too, where that deck was really good, but you could kind of play anything still. Like, you could play like Monkey, Sarah, whatever you wanted to do,
Yeah.
and it was still really good. So yeah, like even High Evo Bounce meta wasn't great because it was mostly just 2 decks, and if you didn't play one of those 2 decks, you kind of just lose.
Yeah.
So we might be going into that again, and I think like Oliath, who's coming in like a couple days now, that card, I looked at it again, kid, and that card, I don't know, man. It's gonna be bad. I think it's gonna be like really
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be okay. It's gonna do nothing for Loki. Like, it's gonna do nothing to fix
No,
this
it's a
Loki
different
meta.
deck, but it's like It's a Galactus deck. I think
It's
like
gonna
it's
be.
bad.
Yeah. I don't think it's. I just don't think it's gonna be that good. I think it'll be okay.
You don't think so?
Eliath, you think it's gonna be bad? You think it's gonna be like bad for the game or a bad card?
No, no, really good card. That's bad for the game.
Oh no, I think the opposite.
Yeah. You think so?
I think it's gonna be fine. I don't think it's gonna be as good as the hype around it. I don't think.
Do
I
you
don't
think
want to.
it'll be better
I don't
or
want to
worse
legion
than?
myself here, but
Do you think it's be better or worse than pre-patch Galactus? Because that card was like 52, 53% win rate. It wasn't crazy,
worse,
but
worse.
you think it'll be worse than that?
I don't think it's gonna be as oppressive as people think it is.
I don't know, man.
It seems like a win more card to me. I'm gonna be honest with you.
It seems
Like,
like Spider-Man to me, like reincarnated. Like, just here's a
yeah,
lane. Like, yeah, I'm taking this lane and that's it. There's nothing
that's
you can
true,
do.
but you have to be ahead. Like, so it's gonna at least make priority
Yeah.
an issue again. Like, it's gonna be like when Arrow was a thing before Arrow got nerfed, right?
Arrow was
When Arrow.
crazy, man. That was the top 3 card. I
No,
was
no, I
like,
mean, I'm not saying it's
yeah,
gonna be like Arrow, the card
yeah,
itself. I'm saying it's gonna be like the
yeah.
Arrow meta where priority matters a lot, where you want to get
Mhm.
ahead because once you're ahead, then you play that card and you win the one lane, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But
it's
you
nuts
need to be ahead though, right?
for sure. Yeah.
And you need to have the other lanes locked up. Like, if you Doctor Doom and you don't guess the right lane, like 1 in 3, the Doctor Doom still goes off, right?
Yeah, I guess, yeah, it's tricky, right? Because you have to have won a lane and you have to be ahead in another lane, basically, right?
Yeah,
Or
what I want to
you
do
don't have
is
to be
Prof
ahead in
X
the
a
other
lane.
lane. You have to be even or ahead in the other lane. Yeah,
Yeah. Like, what I wanna do is Prof X a lane, win that,
yeah.
and then play Eliath, be ahead in another lane, and then play Eliath. Like, play like a lockdown style of Storm and stuff like that. Try
I
and
think
win a lane and then
that's what
Eliath.
the deck. I think that's exactly what the deck's going to be, and to me, that's a extremely impressive deck.
Yeah,
That's like
if you can,
going to
yeah,
give people a lot of problems.
so if you can reliably get ahead by turn 5, then you're screwed. Then, yeah, this card will be ridiculous. I mean, I think this
Yeah.
card being 6 power makes it
Mhm.
so that it'll be like, it'll be a lot harder to get that advantage, to press that advantage, I think.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, I'm excited
Yeah.
to cook something. I've been saving up to spot. I think I'm up to 3 spotlights now.
Nice.
But that's the next thing that's coming, and like, cause now we're in the Loki frenzy. Which honestly, I don't know. Like, what do you think? Okay, so what do you think about the card overall? If you had to, like,
Loki?
like, yeah, do you like him? Do you think he's
I think
bullshit?
it's
Like, what do you think?
well, I think he's really fun. I think he's okay right now. I don't
Yeah.
think we should. I wouldn't want him to be changed unless there's
Mhm.
something wild in the metrics that we see. I wouldn't want him to be changed until after Mobius comes out. Because maybe after when Mobius comes out and Mobius is just a 2/3 that, has a ridiculous stat line. Maybe after he comes out, we're just like, "Oh, yeah, 3/5. Okay, he's not that good with 3/5 if everyone has Mobius."
Yeah.
Like, then
Yeah.
maybe he's not, because then that just completely turns him off, right?
I would even take a step further. I would say like 2 months. Give it 2 months. Again, unless it's just like you just have it's the best deck by far by a million miles. But
Yeah.
even now, I think like I've been playing this ridiculous deck you brought up, this Shuri Kitty deck last week, and
Oh yeah.
like I think on the metrics and stuff, that is the number one deck right now. And man, it's just broken. Like it's
Yeah.
ridiculous, man. So um, I
It's a
already
good
think that
deck.
deck's like just better than Loki deck, and it's not fun to copy. There's not like there's a lot of combo pieces. Like if you get a Kitty Pride like on turn 3 or 4, and you're the Loki player, you play
Yeah.
Loki, you get like Kitty Pride, I don't know, Shuri, like Taskmaster, like I don't know, like Chavez or something like that. Like what do you it's not great, it's not a
But it's
great like.
not that bad of a life if they're all one less cost. Like your Kitty's 0, your Shuri's 3. It's pretty
Oh yeah, he
sick.
can put the Kitty to 0. I didn't think of that. That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Yeah, I'll take a
Well,
free
I've been
Kitty.
playing against a lot of Loki with it. It doesn't
But
seem
yeah.
to be. It just seems like they have like less power than me.
Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah.
Pretty much all the time.
Yeah, because they have to get lucky with the
Mhm.
combo pieces, right? They only get like the 5 cards either in their hand or 4 or 5, right? You have your whole
Yeah.
deck to pull, and you're still pulling your deck.
Mhm.
So they have to like specifically get lucky and get like Shuri, Taskmaster, Red Skull, and Kitty or
Yeah.
whatever. Like they have to get those 4 specific cards out of your 12 deck, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and the deck runs like Forge too, right? So you get
Yeah,
Forge, but you don't get anything to play. It has Hulk Buster in it. Like it has Forge and
yeah,
Hulk Buster. Like these
yeah.
cards on their own like suck, Like so.
Armor, like
Yeah.
so.
I took
Yeah,
armor out for a Okoye for fun, but yeah.
yeah. I played a few games with that.
Yeah.
The Okoye was kind of nice, but I really liked Armor more. There was a
Oh
few
yeah,
times
it's
I
it's
met.
it's just better. It's
Yeah,
a Shuri deck. Like
they're
your Red Skull gets Shang-Chi,
yeah.
it's over, right? So yeah.
You know what's hilarious when I played that Shuri deck?
Mhm.
What won me in most games was Legion.
Yeah, Legion's sick. Yeah.
he just he won me straight up most games.
I say
Anytime
like
there was a magic, like
1 in 4 times I will try to use him as the win condition. Like you see a limbo or something, it's like, all right,
yeah.
let's go.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. If there's a limbo and I have Legion, I'm like, oh, this guy doesn't even know.
Yeah.
You just have to be aware of the She-Not deck.
Mhm.
Because like if you know you're playing the She-Not deck, then you have to play your Legion on 5. You can't wait till 6 because they leech on
Yeah.
5. So
Mhm.
I caught a couple of them off guard and made them leave a few times. I'm like, oh, I got a Legion on 5 here,
Yeah.
and then
But you
got
could
got
always
rid of
just
their limbo.
you could snap Legion, so it's kinda nice,
Yeah,
to get at least
yeah,
2 cubes. So secure the 2 cubes. You don't want to be messing around with a Sheena deck anyway, right? So it's just take your 2 cubes and go
exactly,
before they drop 40 power on you on the turn 7. So yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, Loki. I mean, I like the card right now. I like it.
Mhm.
The mirror. I can see why people are pissed because the mirror match is really annoying, and I hate when you get those really annoying like, oh, it's so lucky.
Yeah.
I've seen like people post got their collector up to a 35 power.
Yeah.
Like a 2 cost is 35 power. I mean, that's
Mhm.
obviously doesn't happen every game, but he can easily get
Mhm.
up to a 210. I've seen a lot of Shadow King tech now.
I
Even
was
I've
yeah. I was gonna bring that up too. It's like, to your point, it's like, okay, people are playing Cerebro kind of wrecks him. People are playing discard. New Blade is insane. We'll go over the OTA changes. I mean, he's
yeah,
crazy. So I mean that deck
Snow Guard.
like kind of wrecks Loki. And then if you play some Shadow King or Shang-Chi, I mean either one, like you could punch this collector, like get him out of here. So definitely plenty of options to counter the deck. Even Killmonger hits the Quinjet, like, yeah,
Yep.
you got like Zabu, so you could play Enchantress. It'll hit Quinjet or Zabu, and yeah, I mean, you got options for sure.
Yeah, so I think he seems oppressive now, like, just
Mhm.
because like, most season pass cards, when they first come out, they seem pretty oppressive in the first couple of days because everyone's playing them, except for Phoenix Force, which is
Yeah,
a
yeah.
piece of
Even
shit
yeah,
card.
Nimrod wasn't like super impressive either. Yeah,
No, Nimrod and Phoenix Force are the ones that weren't,
yeah.
but,
Mhm.
they all basically are. I mean, Dawkins wasn't oppressive, but everyone's playing
Mhm.
them,
Mhm.
But I think it's a really cool effect. I do love the game design and then the card design. But yeah, like the way I think of it is like, would I still play this card as a 3/4? The answer right now is yes. But
Yeah, for sure.
I do like love to wait a month. Yeah. So sorry, we're back after my dog had a seizure. Apparently, um, not allowed to have delivery men come to the door.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I look at Loki. Like, if Loki was a 3/4, would I still play this card? Yes. Right
Yeah,
now, I would, for sure. But give it a month. Wait let the other cards come out because when Mobius comes out, maybe Loki is not as good, and maybe next week there's a ton of counters to Loki, and people are just playing decks like C3. They're playing like Gila Tribunal. Shuri's good against this. Lock.
Mhm.
I was playing. I played Lockjaw. I was beating Loki decks with Lockjaw. The
Yeah.
old Haivo Lockjaw. I haven't updated it. I'm like, let's just see how this deck, is rolling. I've seen a lot
Yeah,
of
there's
people
no
play.
there's no Luke Cage anywhere to be seen right now. So yeah,
No.
you could do high evo anything. And
Mm-hmm.
actually, the high evo kind of is like Cerebro, honestly, against this deck because you don't get the high evo effects when you steal
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to have high evo start
Yes.
in your deck. So if you steal a like a Hulk, it's just a 6/12. Like
Yeah.
Harlos.
The dogs are going buck wild. They're going hog wild this podcast. But yeah, the high evo decks are insane against them because they don't get the high evo cards. They get the
Yeah,
crappy version. So like
it's
I
just wasp.
also
It's just a 0/1 wasp, but it doesn't
yeah,
even get reduced because it's already 0.
yeah,
You know, it's
that's
a
true.
4/6 thing. This vanilla terrible card.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
yeah,
played a
that's a
Moon
really good
Girl
counter.
a bomb affliction deck too for a couple games and it seemed to do pretty good. I was playing a
Mhm,
bunch of stuff, so I'm like, oh yeah, high evo stuff will work. So,
mhm,
does it seem oppressive right now? Maybe a little bit in the beginning, but a lot of cards do, I think.
mhm.
I played a Sandman ramp deck too that was doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I like Loki for now, and I think we just wait a little bit, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if it gets to like some crazy 70% win rate and it's because of the
Yeah.
Loki and they got to tone it down to like a hot fix, like a 3/4. But I
Yeah.
hope they don't like just totally change the card for at least like, I would say a couple months. Like, let's
Yeah.
get Mobius. Let's keep playing, like trying to mess around with some counters because I do think the card design is really nice. And
Yeah.
I like that it's in the game. I like it creates a really fun kind of play style. And if you're playing anything that's not the mirror, like you're having a pretty good time playing this deck.
Yeah, you're
So,
having a great
yeah,
time playing this deck. It's a
yeah,
fun as hell card, man.
yeah,
And then
super
I think
fun.
even like the early like untapped stats that I saw had like Loki decks at like 53%, 54%.
Yeah, that's like totally fine. You're playing
I
Loki.
forget if that's in Conquest or if that's ladder. I don't remember. But
Yeah,
so I
yeah,
don't know. Don't quote me. I'm just a filthy casual player. I don't give a shit either way.
yeah,
I just
yeah,
play to have fun.
yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. So I think I think it's still good, even like with the Loki kind of hype right now. I think it's still a good meta, and we'll see.
for sure.
It'll be good.
Mhm.
You want to get into the some of the patch changes?
Yeah, let's do it. There's some big ones.
Yeah, let's go over some of those. Pull it up here.
There he
All
is.
right. So yeah. So we'll talk about the first thing is like the infinite rank. They have a leaderboard now. Have you seen that?
Yeah, actually, on this, speaking of infinite, so I mean, this is a change that I care about more than the one that's on the screen right now. This infinite rank thing's kind of dumb because there's like no rewards or anything for it, right? So like you could climb. I saw Dara Smurf got number one, and he hasn't played in like months. So
I think that was a
the
bug.
team. Yeah, but the whole thing seems kind of wonky, like the MMR.
Yeah.
Like it's like count stuff you did like months ago. It doesn't reset. It seems
Yeah,
kind of weird.
The MMR is very weird.
It's super wonky, so I'm not paying too much attention to it now. I think it's nice that it's in the game, but this is like a couple months away from being like legit. It would be
Yeah,
great if there was rewards like on the for the top 10 finishers.
that'd be cool.
Even if they're just variants or something like that. But they did do one infinite change that I gotta just second dinner. Bravo. Sorry, I'm clapping. My dog's getting rattled again, but I shouldn't be clapping like that. Have you seen the new infinite borders?
Yeah, those are sick.
Oh my god, phenomenal. When they released, those were like a 2 out of 10. They're like legit 10 out of 10 now. Like
Yeah, they're really
unreal.
cool.
If you beat you got through the proving grounds. Then you got 2 silver, then you got 3 gold, and then 5 in a row infinite. You should get something nice. And now you get
Yeah,
something like real nice. And it looks like I got the Magneto one. It
yeah,
looks like he's like in like a space-time continuum, like he's in a vortex, and it's
yeah.
just gorgeous. And I'm happy they finally put some effort because I could barely even tell that I had the infinite border before the patch. So it looks sick now. I really like that change in
I
this patch.
I I liked them better before because I don't
Oh, you
have
did?
one. Because I don't have one. So you
Oh,
couldn't
sorry.
tell. So you couldn't tell.
Might be,
No.
might be.
I'm just kidding. No, I don't give.
Yeah,
I don't care.
yeah.
I don't play Conquest that much, so I don't. I'm not mad that I don't have one. But they are really cool.
Yeah, they're
I
sick.
do like how they made that change. They're really cool how they're animated and stuff too. Like when I play
Yeah.
someone who has them, I'm like, oh man, that's pretty sick. Like,
It starts
yeah,
to get real. It's like, whoa, it's
yeah,
like, oh god, this guy's legit.
yeah,
Before it was like, oh, I can't even tell he has it.
yeah. You're like squinting. You're like, is that one or is it
Yeah,
just the light on my screen?
yeah.
But
So
yeah,
that was a
so
sick game.
infinite rank. It's cool they have a leaderboard. I like it.
Hmm.
Yeah, like you said, I think it's a few months away from being legit, and like they have to optimize it and reset the MMR every month, which I don't know why they're not doing that. Like,
Hmm.
doesn't make sense to use like previous MMR.
Yeah.
Just reset it every month. You get to infinite, you start at 0, and then the race is
Yeah.
on. It is what it is.
Hmm.
Um, conquest mode. Oh yeah, the mute saves across multiple battles. Did you ever care about that? I don't know why people
Mute
get so
now
mad.
saved across multiple battles in the same match. What's
So I think
that? What's mute
if
now?
you mute someone once, then they're muted the whole match instead of
Oh,
like
I've never muted anybody.
I know that's what I'm gonna say. Like people get so triggered and rattled about this. Like
I
people
love the
emote
chirps, man.
spamming.
I've probably gotten muted a lot. I never mute. No, I'm that's
Me
part of
either.
the game, man. That's part of the fun.
I
Like, come on, if you're playing like a card game, like in person with somebody, like you got to be able to chirp every time you throw a card down. Like playing euchre, you got to like
yeah
Trump, like you got to
yeah
slam that down. Like it's part of the fun.
yeah.
So
No, I
yeah,
think
I
it
don't know.
was yeah. I think when people spam emote me, it's funny. I love it.
It's hilarious.
I
Yeah.
think it's hilarious. I never get triggered or mad by it. It's just
I mean, I used to get tilted in the Galactus days, but I still wouldn't mute the person. I would just be tilted. Like, it's part of the game.
You are a man who's in control of his emotions. It's good.
Yeah, I just gotta just take it. Just take it on the
Um,
chin, move on.
yeah, I think it's funny. But anyways, for people, it's good for people who don't like it, which is it can get annoying if some people are really annoying. Then
Yeah.
yeah. The
I
seasonal
mean, there's no
audio.
chat. It's not like they could say anything in chat, like or anything.
Yeah,
So
if you have sound on though, it does pop up like blah 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 blah. That could get
yeah,
annoying. So
yeah,
I get it. Seasonal audio. They have the new theme, the Loki theme. Did you hear that? It's good.
yeah, and I love that they are
Yeah,
doing new music because the old music was getting really old. Dun
yeah,
dun 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 dun
yeah,
dun 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 dun. Every single time I open the game,
yeah.
but I do think this first song sucks. I'm not gonna lie, but it's
Oh,
okay.
I
I'm
like
happy
it.
they're doing it.
If you play it out, if you
Mhm.
listen to it for a while, because I had my computer
Yes,
on for a while, it gets way better.
I agree, but like when I'm queuing matches, all I hear is the first 4 seconds, right? So
Yeah, yeah,
every time
yeah,
a match done, that you hear the first 4 seconds till the next one comes up. So
yeah.
that's all I hear when I'm chain queuing, like the ladder, right? So
Oh, I like it. I
yeah,
like it.
if you do listen to it, it is good, but I think the first 4 seconds is by far the most important thing. And so before all it was is dun 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 dun, which is
Yeah,
rough, and then
yeah,
now it's like do 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 do, the little
yeah.
little little wind chimes. So yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of like
I'm not a
eerie.
big fan of Halloween lore in general, so it could just
Yeah,
be a me problem, right? But I'm happy they're doing it, and I hope they change it again next month, and maybe give us option to pick what song we want. Give us an option of 10 songs or something.
that'd be kind of cool. Maybe
Yeah,
eventually,
I would, love, I would, I would personally love that. Yeah,
once they have a playlist, they might be able to do that.
yeah.
Agatha sound effects added. I don't even know what that is, but that's fine.
I've been playing some Agatha, and I didn't notice that.
All right, let's just go into the balance updates. Some of these patch changes. All right, this is where the spiciness begins.
Mhm.
Blade, you're the discard king. So you tell me what you think. Well, I'll tell my thoughts first about this, and then you tell me how it really is.
I
Um,
played a lot with this. My problem.
let's say what the changes first. First,
Yeah, yeah.
so
Okay.
first he's a 1/3.
Mhm.
First, he was discard a card from your hand, just random before. Now 1/3 targeted discard. Discard the rightmost card from your hand. I love this. I think this makes the card so much better.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, Makes them actually like play a card you want to play in discard decks now.
Mhm.
But yeah, go ahead. What do you think about it? You're the discard
Well,
master.
I mean, he like for me, I played a lot with the Holodex. I think they're really strong still. I don't have Tribunal, and the way I would deal with that before is play Captain Marvel for 5/6 or discard her, and then she appears for 5/6. But now she's a 4/4, so it's not really like a thing. New Doctor Doom's pretty nice, but it's just not as strong as like Tribunal. Samurai is also targeted discard. You could play like Iron Man and stuff like that. So I think Tribunal discard is the strongest way to play it right now. and Blade is like an absolute rock star in that deck. A lot of people are making kind of hybrid type of decks. Like I think TLSG made one that looks sick. It's like a Hella deck, but it also does normal discard stuff too. And you maybe you play Hella, maybe you don't. Like, and it has Ghost Rider in it, so
I
you
saw
could
that.
your boy pulls out. If you hit your Hella, you could just Ghost Rider, like stuff like this, right? So, yeah, like before it was like you're either playing Modoc or you're playing Hella. And now because of the new Blade, you could play all kinds of different stuff. I think in a standard Modoc deck, he still doesn't belong in there because it's like, okay, discard the right card of your hand, but Modoc discards your whole hand, so it doesn't really matter, right? But in like literally any other discard build, I mean, it's an absolute staple and just one of the best cards in the game
But
right now.
I will say with the Modoc one, I mean, you can you can get like
Swarm or an
Apocalypse
APOC, it would be nice, yeah.
twice. Like on
Yeah,
turn 4, you can play Lady Sif and then Blade.
yeah,
And that way you're
yeah.
getting 8 on Apocalypse and you're putting 7 down on the board on turn 4, which is pretty sick.
Yeah, and people are including him in Modoc lists too. I'm saying
Yeah,
you still don't have to,
yeah,
if you
yeah.
don't want to, right? But yeah, he's an option. Yeah, to
Yeah.
your point, right? So
Even him
um
with Dakin too. I mean, put
mhm,
him and Dakin on 4. I mean, it's
mhm.
automatic, what is that? 8 4 mana, 11 power.
11 power for 4. Yeah, that's really
Yeah.
good.
That can't be Shang-Chi'd.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, he's great. Yeah, for Hella too, like you said, like he can just for him not to discard your Hella,
Mhm.
like what she did all the time,
Yeah,
like
I
so
was
many
playing him
times.
anyway in Hella, so yeah, it's
Yeah,
like now I know what he's hitting. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
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 So it's
No, this is a
good. So
huge change, and I think I think discard. It's a lot of people are working on a lot of different builds right now. Whatever the most optimized one comes out, like I think it's going to be a top meta contender just because it plays really good into Loki. So yeah, like awesome deck, and I hopefully I can get my hands on Tribunal at some point, but I just don't want to pay 6K for it.
yeah.
So
Did they did they
I'm just
do?
like messing around with other stuff right now.
I got Tribunal in the first set of Spotlight caches when I was going
Yeah.
for Gene Gray. I ended up just getting him randomly.
Yeah, I already
Um,
blew the 6K on Jean Grey personally at that point. So that was before they nerfed tokens. So yeah.
did they um did they do Spider Ham this patch or was it last one? Are we gonna get to Spider Ham?
I think that was oh maybe it was this patch. I don't
Yeah, I don't
remember.
know, but anyways,
Let's
that
go
we'll
down here.
we'll talk about that, I guess, if it comes around. But that
Mhm.
makes discard better even too. So I
Yeah.
think we'll see a lot more discard. Let's
Mhm.
go. Just go to the next one. Okay, this one fucking hit me hard.
This is pretty brutal. I'm not quite
This
sure.
is so
What,
Soulstone was
yeah.
on reveal, draw a card, and then ongoing before was enemy cards here have -1 power. Definitely a strong card. Now just enemy cards here have -1 power. It's still a 1/1. They took away the draw card. I I don't know why they did this. I
Well,
don't think
I'll do a
Thanos.
quick blurb. I'll do a quick blurb on it, and then you're the Thanos expert. I'll
This
defer
is
to you on this
bullshit.
one.
I'm pissed off about this.
I mean, we both had him on our top 10. I had him at 10. I think you had him at 4. Thanos has always been good. This is a huge nerf to Thanos. Like I think this is a huge nerf on Thanos.
Yeah, me too.
Um, like he might not be playable right now because of this. Like it's actually a huge deal. But that's just my initial impression. I don't play it as much as you. So what do you think?
I think this is a huge nerf. It takes it kind of like neuters him a little bit. The
Yeah.
thing you need with Thanos is the card draw because you put 6 extra cards in your deck, so you
Hmm.
need to be able to cycle. One of the cards already doesn't draw you anything, which is the Power Stone.
Hmm.
One of the stones, I should say. So like even like if you draw the Power Stone on turn 1, you're kind of like pissed off because you can't cycle your deck. You're like, oh, whatever. Like it's not that great. You need to cycle the cards to get your engine going.
Hmm.
To have this not draw a card is like mind-boggling. Now, I
Yeah.
understand that, like, yeah, okay, so it can be a 1/5. I get it. That's very strong. A 1/5 that draws you a card.
Hmm.
Sure. Make it so that then it's like if you wanna nerf Soulstone, make it so he still draws a card, but like
Hmm.
then this location has -2 power or something.
Hmm.
That way it's a 1/3 that draws a card.
Or make the stone a 1/0.
Yeah. Or make the
Or make
stone a
the
one
stone
zero.
a 1 -1, Like,
Yeah.
but taking away the card draw, like, kinda kills the deck. Like, you said, you need it, right? So,
Yeah, you need
and
it.
like lockjaw builds, like, were kind of nice because you don't want to hit a stone because you're high rolling your deck. But if you hit a soul stone, at least it still draws you a card, right? You
Yeah.
know, on a lockjaw lane. But now, like, man, soul stone pops up. It's like, ooh, damn.
That's terrible.
Yeah, so yeah, man. You can't play it into the lockjaw lane either. You could play it into it before, draw a
Yeah.
card, then cycle out for something, right? But now it's like yeah, so I mean big nerf on Thanos. Yeah, I don't know, and especially with all these new cards coming out, I mean Thanos might have a hard time like
I
it's like it seems like such a minor thing. It's like one of the stones, right? And it's still a 1/5 kind of somehow, like in the dream scenario, which
yeah.
rarely happens, but
I
yeah.
played it. I played a few games with Thanos. I haven't played a lot, which I probably will play more. Like once I get playing more, I just got back. But like it doesn't definitely feels a lot weaker.
Mhm.
Um, I don't. Thanos was not broken. Like he was
Yeah.
not a broken card that I think needed nerfing. Like
Mhm.
there were Thanos decks that were good, but there's never like he was never like sitting on top of the meta number one deck, for the whole
Yeah,
time. Like the Little Movers Silk deck, that was probably better than Thanos decks.
for sure. Yeah.
One of the best, Thanos players, the Human Spider. He's actually the one that was the first number one on ladder here. And
Mhm.
he won a few. I think he won a tournament with Thanos, and then came in second in another tournament. But he plays Thanos a lot, basically.
Mhm.
um he was pissed off about this too because he's like, man, like he was like, I think when he plays Thanos, 'cause he plays all the time, he gets like a 73% win rate last month with Thanos,
Mhm.
just him, because he's like really good.
Yeah.
And say now he said he's playing it and it's like he's at like about a 60%.
Jeez. Yeah.
Him
13%.
him
Yeah.
who's
Yeah.
like amazing at
Mhm.
Thanos, like
Yeah. That's
it's
that's
not like
crazy. I didn't think.
it's not
I
like
thought it would be bad, but I didn't think it'd be that much of a drop off.
I
That's
mean, and
that's
this is just like the first week, right? Like,
yeah.
this is with his deck that he hasn't refined, and this new meta and stuff. But he's like, it feels really bad, and I don't know if it's. A lot of people are saying they don't know it's playable. I've seen like some people like, oh yeah, Thanos needed this nerf. It's like, what? What did Thanos need this nerf for? What decks were
Yeah.
so oppressive and so
I'm
good that
actually
were
fine.
winning all
Yeah,
the
just
time?
just taking away the draw. Like I'm fine with nerfing Thanos, but like here's the thing with this nerf. Like Thanos already has an inherent weakness just by existing. I mean, we know it, right? It makes your deck 17 cards, right? Like
Yeah,
that's a massive downside. This makes his already weakness like much weaker. Like if you take away some power from him, like I think that's okay. You could take away some power from Thanos, like he doesn't need to be a 20, like which they juiced him up to 20 for no reason, like before, right? Like,
yeah,
that doesn't make that much of a difference anyway. You could take away power on the soul stone if you think the soul stone's too strong. You could give it some red skull like readjustment, right? Where it just affects the cards differently or whatever. But like maybe it minus ones your cards too. You're like you said, -1 to the whole location, right? Like maybe it hits, maybe make it a 1/2, but it's just -1 to all cards on the location, including yours.
yeah,
But yeah, taking away the card draw is already Thanos' weakness. Like even with the card draw, you do brick sometimes with Thanos. Like it happens a decent amount. Like I say, at least
yeah,
1/4 of games, like you're just bricking because you don't have any card draw early and you're kind of just done. And this just makes it even more of a brick. Like it'd be like taking away Psylocke from Mr. Negative or something. It's like, all right, you still got Zabu, but like Jesus Christ, like if I don't get the Zabu, I lose.
yeah. Yeah, and you're already putting Chavez in a lot of your Thanos decks to try and get the stones as early as possible because you need that
Yeah.
cycle, right?
Mhm.
Um, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why they did this. I don't think he was that oppressive. I don't think he was, top of the meta, beating everyone down,
Mhm.
winning everything. He's a great card. Yeah, I think if you want to hit him, take away some of the power. But this, I hope they revert this or do
Well,
something,
with
give it
with
back.
these changes, I try to give them the benefit. Like if they're
Yeah.
hitting something, it probably is like a lot more broken than we think, right? Because they have
Mhm.
all the metrics. So yeah, so I think that they have the metrics internally, right? So they know when a card is like broken, like more than we do. Like we see Untapped and Snap Fan or whatever, but
Yeah.
those are kind of limited stats. They have all the stats, so I'm sure they think that Thanos is like more broken than we think. But this is kind of neutering a card, and I like the way they've been not neutering cards. Like with Leader, like still seems kind of playable. Leech is
Yeah.
definitely still playable, but it's not like what it used to be.
Yep.
And so that like Arrow is like a nice change too. Like they made Arrow. Okay, I know people love the old Arrow, but it was broken. Like it was it's just a broken card before, and
Yeah.
now it's like just a pretty good card sometimes in specific situations. So like neutering Thanos, it doesn't even Galactus. Like I thought it was a pretty good change. Like you can still play Galactus, and even
Yeah.
a lot of decks he has pretty good win rate still. So, but I don't like it doesn't feel like the old Galactus decks now. It's like okay, you got me now. So I don't know, man. I feel like they kind of it doesn't look like they neutered the card because they're changing one stone. But if you really play Thanos and you understand how the deck works,
Yeah.
this is just a full on like a massive nerf to the
I
deck.
was gonna say, like, if you don't play this deck, you have no idea. This doesn't look like a big nerf. When you
Mhm.
play this deck, like, I look at this and I'm like, man, I don't want to play Thanos. Like, Thanos
Yeah,
was
no,
my favorite card. Now I'm like, I don't want it. If I draw the Soul Stone, I'm gonna be pissed off.
yeah, it's
It's like,
already tough. Like you already might not get the stones. Like that's already in the deck, and now it's just a lot worse. So, well,
yeah,
what can you do?
yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens going forward. Hopefully,
Mhm.
they add the draw card back. I don't mind them nerfing the power. I really don't. This
Yeah,
draw
yeah.
was I don't know. I thought it was unnecessary personally.
Just make it. Yeah, all cards here get -1 power. Make it something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Why not?
or this location gets -2 power for your
Yeah.
opponent. That way it's a
Hmm.
1/3,
Hmm.
or something like that. But yeah. Oh yeah, here, Spider Ham. So another gut job that Spider Ham used to transform the highest cost card in your opponent's hand. Now transform the leftmost card. They gave her the Nakia treatment. The
Yeah, the old Nakia. I mean, Nakia doesn't
yeah,
even do that anymore.
no.
Yeah. Yeah.
What they changed about Nakia, they added to Spider Ham.
Yeah.
So I get why they did it. I do.
Yes.
He
Me
was
too.
really good. Um, I wish they would have I feel like this makes him so much worse though. Like I wish they would have just made it like you just don't see the card that he hits. Like make him like Iceman.
I'm very confident saying this is just straight up not a playable card anymore. Like this is now an actual bad card. Like there are like so many better two drops than this
Oh
card. You're
yeah.
never gonna play it. And I understand why they did this change because I mean I was putting Spider Ham in all of my decks. Like
Yeah.
Spider Ham Jeff in every single deck.
Mhm.
And it's really hard to change Jeff. He's a 2-3. I think one day they might move him to a 3-4, but Spotlight Cash has Jeff in it right now. So some people are getting Jeff for the first time right now.
Yeah.
Cerebro 3's popping off. I've never played Cerebro 3 with Jeff in it before. It's pretty sick.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying that because they never used to have Jeff. So like it had just a total like power creep for Cerebro 3 there. That's
Yeah.
why 3 I think is like the number that's popping off right now because I mean you get Jeff. So it's pretty nice. And yeah, and Shadow King is kind of nice too. But yeah, so this Spider Ham change, like I mean, RIP. Maybe one day they'll do another change to bring it back. But this is a horrible card at a 2/2. It's just is dog. Like 2/2's not close to enough stats to get
No.
you anywhere. Like Daredevil's a 2/2. Like Daredevil's a really strong effect.
Let's put it
This
this
is
way.
this, this
If
is
he was a
trash.
2 if he was a 2/3 at this effect, I probably
Mhm.
still wouldn't play it.
Yeah, I maybe
Now,
consider it though, right? In the right situation, like yeah, probably not. Yeah, you're right.
no, like what? I don't know. Like now I'm playing Mirage where I used to play Spider Ham and I'm loving it.
Yeah, Mirage
I'm
is way better than this
I'm
card now.
sticking
Mirage,
Mirage in a lot of decks now, and I'm loving Mirage.
yeah,
Now with of Loki especially, but I mean
yeah,
even decks like I put it in my Lockjaw deck. It's great,
mhm.
like
Yeah.
where I
Mirage
used
is
to
a
have Spider Ham. I just took Spider
prime
Ham
prime
out.
Loki card for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. This is like really bad, and I understand like because you don't want to just like destroy Apocalypse and stuff like that, and like just ruin a whole archetype. Like discard that kind of stuff like
Yeah,
death.
I'm fine with this change. I'm not even mad about it. Like, good. Like, get him out of here. This card is ridiculous.
Yeah,
But
maybe
I just want to say, score one. Super Snap Bros and zero. Cozy and Alex Snapchat. It's
they
like
put him at a
this is
B
not.
tier.
This is clearly not a B tier card. If they have to totally nuke it, this guy got nuked harder than Thanos. Like we
Yeah.
just
Oh
talked about
yeah.
how bad Thanos was. This is
Oh yeah.
way worse than the Thanos change.
Yeah.
Like so, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
GG Spider Ham. It was my number 4 card. Is now wouldn't even make the honorable mentions.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I think he is in my top 5 as well. He would
Yeah,
not make my honorable mentions now. I mean,
yeah.
if they put him back to a 1/1, is that something worth considering? And then like 1/1 and then can't hit the same target twice?
Yeah, with because you're abusing it with bounce at that point, right? So
Yeah.
maybe, right? Because you have Falcon and Beast now
Yeah.
to synergize with it, and you're using it multiple times. You get it to a 0 with Beast. Maybe, yeah, maybe.
And then what is it?
At one cost, I mean, we've seen it already, right? It obviously pops off at one cost, right? So
Does
in a
he
bounce deck specifically. So
does is Mobius counter to Spider Ham too? Because like if you have Mobius out, the pigs are zero cost cards. Do they just become zero?
into a pig keeping its power and cost. No, it keeps its cost.
Its cost is zero. The pigs are all zero cost. They used to be 4 cost, but then they were getting they had to change them because they were getting zabu'd. So
Oh,
they made
okay.
them
I
all
don't
zero
know.
cost.
Yeah, I don't know how
Like
that would work.
the
Yeah.
original cost of the pigs is zero, and like they
Yeah.
keep the card the cost is like of the card that it was. Like if that
Mhm.
it was 8, it's an 8 cost. But like the pig card itself is zero. So I
Mhm.
wonder if like you get Spider Hammed and you have Mobius if you're just gonna play like a 0/12 death.
0 pig, yeah, OP. That's even bigger nerf on Spider-Ham then,
I know,
right?
that's what I mean.
You're giving them 0 cost pigs now.
That would be hilarious. I don't know how
Yeah.
that would work, but anyways,
Mm, mhm.
I don't think we'll see that because I don't know if this card will ever get played again.
No. No. Yeah, it's gone.
And the 2 drop is such like a competitive spot, like where
Yeah.
there's so many good cards. Like there's so many cards I would choose to play over this card.
Yeah, people are now just getting Jeff. Not everybody has Mirage yet, and, like, these are premium cards. Silk and Craven are still sick, just nobody's playing them right now because they wanna play new stuff, but it's not like those cards are going anywhere?
Yeah. Well, here's a I don't know if this is a hot take, but Iceman is just better than this card.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah, for
Like
sure.
I
It's
mean
way
like
better. I've been playing Iceman actually the last week, just, like, I've been
like
playing.
if this was a 1/2, I would
Mhm.
play Iceman over this card.
I've been playing Iceman in my Loki deck.
Yeah.
Uh, my logic is, everything you're playing after turn 3 doesn't matter anyway, and, I'm trying to hit their Loki
Yeah. Well, I'm saying
before they
like
play
yeah,
it.
my point being like if they were the same cost, I would choose Iceman. But this
Yeah,
is just 1 cost more and the same power.
yeah.
Like if Iceman was a 2/2 or this was a 1/2, I would pick Iceman over this card.
Yeah, it's a better, effect for sure. At
Yeah.
least you +1 their card.
Well, like the leftmost, I don't know, whatever. Um, all right, so Spider Ham, poor Spider Ham. I mean, I understand they do got to do nerfs. Like I do get it. I just don't know how I would change this card.
It's tough, yeah. I mean, that card was broken, and now they kinda wrecked it, but, maybe,
Yeah.
in the
Like if they
future,
made
they'll
him
come back.
like if they made him a 1/1 and it's leftmost card and then like can't hit a
Mhm,
pig twice,
mhm.
then maybe, then you could have some like bounce and still like mess people up.
I would
Could be
rather
good.
it literally just be random card in their hand, than leftmost. Like, I don't know.
That's kind of true. Because then at
Yeah.
least you can pig twice, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you can at least if it's leftmost, then you're gonna keep pigging the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that sucks.
Oh, this one sick. Snow guard.
That's wild.
Yeah. So the old snow guard is not even worth mentioning. It was a pile of shit.
Yep.
I'm not even gonna read it. But the new snow guard actually a great. I played with it. This is a good card. I want to
This
play a
card's
lot
not
more of this card.
I've gotten it with my own Loki, and by God, this card goes crazy.
Oh, do you have this card or no?
No, I don't know, but I'll be
Oh,
getting it next.
yeah,
Goliath, it's in the Goliath, bundle,
yeah,
so I'll
yeah.
be
In
I'll
the
be
in the
rolling
old
for it.
system, I randomly pulled it as one of my series
Yeah.
4 drops.
Series
I
4,
was
yeah, I remember.
I
You're
was
pissed.
pissed. Of course, I was pissed. I still had the gray border on it.
Yeah.
So this is a 1/2 card, which is good stats. Add the hawk and bear auroras to your hand. Now the new hawk, so you just get 2 cards. So if you're playing collector, you just get 2. You know,
Yep.
if you're playing Loki, that's just 2 more cards to transform into your opponent's hand. So it's great with Loki, but it's just like it's like a mini legion, dude. Um, so the hawk on reveal is a 2/3, so you get 2/2/3s in your hand. The hawk is a 2/3 on reveal. Ignore all location abilities until the end of next turn or the game. So this is a huge buff because before it
Yes.
started on the next turn,
Mhm.
right? You had to wait a turn so your
You
opponent
get you get
knew.
you get 2 turns now is what it says.
Yeah,
Is that
now
what
it
I
starts
haven't read
right when
it.
you play it. It starts right when you
Mhm.
play it. So if you have
Yeah.
limbo, you can I think you could just play this on turn 6 and end the game.
it's kind of like if you have priority, you get it for 2 turns, right? And then but even if you don't, you still get you can still do the locations.
Well, yeah, I think like you can end limbo. Like if you play
Yeah.
this on limbo turn 6,
Hmm.
you end it. Whereas the last time it was like the next turn. It's
Yeah.
not. And this is until the end of next turn or game.
Hmm.
So this is great. So you get like the you can ignore the location ability. So you can play this on Death's Domain on turn 6, and then 3 other cards and win that lane, or 2 or another card. It's gonna ignore Death's Domain where your partner or your what's it called? Your opponent won't play on that.
Hmm.
So it's just like a mini. It's like a mini Legion, right? And then
Yeah, it's really good.
the
Hmm.
bear is a 2/3 on reveal. Trigger the effect of this location. So you
Hmm.
can use the locations. You can draw cards. You can, if it's what is it? You get energy, anything really.
Squirrels,
Rap.
raptors to
Yeah,
mess
yeah,
up your opponent.
yeah,
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 stuff like
exactly.
that.
Yeah, it's
That you
amazing.
were using Legion for anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it does it work on stuff like Vormir. Does it like reactivate Vormir or no?
Which one's that?
The one where the first card you play here is destroyed. So, like,
Oh,
if you play it and then, like, your opponent plays on it, like, does it react? I don't think
I
it
would
does,
I would
but
assume that it does, but I don't know.
yeah, I don't think that it does. But
No, maybe
anyways,
yeah. I think the bear's got to be like rare, right? Like it
yeah,
rarely does anything.
yeah. Like
The
the
way
rat
I'm
yeah,
looking at this, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, like you said, the raptors, the squirrels, you just
Mhm.
disruption, it's great. It's a mini legion. It's
Yeah,
this card's I love this card now. I love it.
yeah.
I love
This
this
card
change.
this card is pretty sick. The way I look at it is like I think people need to be honest with themselves because I've heard some people saying, "Oh, I love Agent Coulson because my opponent's never gonna know what cards I'm playing." But like, let's be honest, when you play Agent Coulson, most of the time you're not playing the 4 and 5. Like, you're just not. You've got Devil Dino, you got Mystique. Like, you're just trying to make your hand bigger. Like, let's stop playing here. All right, you want to make your collector get a +2. That's why you're playing Agent Coulson. This is a 1 cost Agent Coulson. That's why I look at it. Like that's pretty crazy. Like if you think about it, like
Yeah.
1 cost 8 because it adds 2 cards to your hand. Agent 13 only adds 1. Cable only adds 1. Maria Hill only adds 1, and this one adds 2. You know exactly what cards you're getting. The Hawk, I could say, I feel pretty good that the Hawk's actually a pretty decent card too. Like it's a good card as well. So one of the cards is actually going to be good every time, and you get like you said, you get a little mini Legion guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah, just adding +2 to your hand from a 1 cost card with all the synergies that already exist in the game. Huge buff to all the shield based stuff. That's already decent.
Yeah. And the I'm never going to underestimate location effects again. I mean,
Yeah.
these are ridiculous. Like Legion, I still think is the best card in the game. Um, this is just mini Legion. It just like messes with the locations, and they have no idea. You could turn off their limbo with a snow guard and win the
Yeah,
game.
it's one for 1 cost. Yeah, that's insane. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
it's
the talk is
crazy.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and the berry, you don't have to use it. Whatever, you don't have to use it if you don't
Mhm.
want to.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. I think snow guard. I think this is a great change. I love how they reworked this card just in
Mhm.
time for the spotlight cash next week.
Yeah. Mhm.
Which I'm glad they did because people would riot if there was snow guard in the spotlight caches.
I was kinda excited to just get it,
It
honestly.
was no, no, it was bad. It
I
was
think the
bad.
artwork's really cool on Snow Guard.
It is. And
Yeah, I
now
think it looks
actually, and now
yeah.
that you get the bear and the hawk in your hand, you still get to
Mhm.
look at now you get to look at the snow guard artwork, right?
Yeah,
Whereas
the
before it got rid of
animations
it.
are yeah, they were sick. I like it. Yeah, no,
Because
cool change for sure, and I mean, Snow Guard, it might be, like, a crazy card. Like, it's like Mirage too. Like this card and Mirage, I think, are kinda like, they might be, like, nuts, you know?
I think this card is
It
good.
might be too much it might be too much value.
I think you add this card in more decks than you don't as of right now, just for the
Yeah.
location disruption for 2
Mhm,
mana. It's amazing.
mhm.
Um, but yeah. Oh, then absorbing man, they nerfed a little bit. 4/5 down to a 4/4. I think that's fine.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they were ambitious with the +2 on it. It was a okay card, but then they did +2, and then everyone's like, "Okay, Mr. Sinister Brood, lol." And now they're like, "Alright, let's it's too much power."
I think a
Well
4/4 is fine for him. I think 4/3 just felt so bad. I played a
mhm,
couple games with the Forge Brood deck, and
Mhm.
he still feels fine at a 4/4.
Yep.
Although like losing 3 power in a lane with Brood is nothing to like. Yeah, it's a lot. Losing three
Yeah, you
power is a
already
lot.
might lose that lane. It's not like Brood guarantees you win the lane on his own anyway. There's decks that can go taller than a Brood, right? So,
Yeah,
um, even with Patriot or something. So,
yeah.
yeah.
So I
No,
mean,
no, it matters a lot. I mean, this is a hard hit on the Brood Absorbing Man deck specifically.
yeah,
Like, and obviously that's what they're targeting here. So,
yeah,
yeah, I
and
mean, it
then
says right on there, Forge plus Brood plus Absorbing Man curve. Yeah. So
yeah, and so
they're
let's
just
see.
directly.
Yeah, let's see what it does.
Mhm.
This is I've always like 4/3 is just too shit for Absorbing Man.
Mhm.
That's just like not a good, not good. Four
I'm happy
four.
they didn't hit Forge, man. I think Forge is still crazy, and
Yeah,
I mean, God, it's in the Shuri deck too. It's crazy, man.
it's a good
Forge is
card.
like nuts. I think I might have been right about Forge being top 10. He's crazy.
He's a good card. He's a good card. But yeah, I like this change. I think it's a good nerf. We'll see what happens.
Hmm,
And then yeah, that's it for these.
nice.
You want to get in some quick stonks before you gotta
All right,
go?
let's do it. Yeah.
All right, so I got the my stonks.
Mhm.
My card that's gonna be stonks. Actually, it is a 3 drop here. Let's see if I can find the old boy. There he is, Shadow King. My
Mhm.
stonks for this week is Shadow King. With all the Loki
Yeah.
madness that's going on,
Mhm.
Shadow King's just going to be great. It's going to make these collectors go back to nothing. People want to play Bishop or anything like that, back to nothing. All the destroy decks. I've already ruined a Venom's life. I've ruined Taskmaster's life.
There's
Um,
still Kitty, Angela are still out there too. Like it's not,
yeah.
the Kitty. I see Kitty all the time actually. So that's
Well,
another one.
yeah, I,
Yeah.
I like just straight up won against a few Shuri Kitty decks just with this
Mhm.
card.
Yeah.
The
He
even the
hard counters it. Nothing you can do.
Yeah, even the card that they Shuri, you just Shadow
Mhm.
King it, before they Taskmaster, and you pretty much win.
Yeah, it's like they play armor. You're like, that's cute.
Yeah. So I think with those decks being good, the Loki Collector being good, Shuri Kitty being good,
Mhm.
Destroy still out there. Um, you know, it's gonna be Shadow King time.
Mhm. I love that call. That's a really top high level call right there. Mine is more ape kind of filthy casual call.
I like it.
Appeals to my emotions, and it's hella. All right,
Yes, that's true.
Uh, yeah, Hella's like in a really good spot right now. Potential for tier one, which I've always called Hella either tier two or tier three kind of deck. Most people probably had her lower than that, and understandable, But I'm a believer, and yeah, New Blade is pretty cracked in Hella. Honestly, it's nuts in that deck. So,
Yeah.
bunch of different Hella variations. I'm excited to mess around. Like I said, I don't know how much I'll experiment with it till I get Tribunal, but I'll always have my eye on it, and I think Hella's in a really good spot right now.
Yeah, I think like if like it's a less YOLO Hella, like not like
Mhm.
all like Invisible Woman Modoc Hella kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
If it's more like you can use Blade, you can have a Ghost Rider in the deck, you can use Lady Sif,
yeah.
Colleen Wing.
Colleen, yeah,
You have this targeted discard options, and
Samurai
then
targets too.
yeah, and then you
Yeah,
just play Hella on turn 6. Well, then like
hmm
it's not like you're going all in with Hella. You're just like you're playing a
yeah,
6/6 that also is like adds a shit ton more stats to the board, which is amazing.
yes, yeah,
You know. So
yeah,
yeah,
and
I
it's
like that.
and it's just awesome in the Loki matchup as well. So that's another huge thing. No matter
Yeah,
how much Mobius counters or whatever, like Hella doesn't care about any of this stuff. Like so,
yeah.
you just play Hella and GG.
Yeah, another stonks I see coming up in the next, wave. I think waves is gonna be this card just gonna, especially in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, you're saying
Like,
pre Triple M, right?
oh yeah, even pre triple M, because like
Yeah.
Loki, they're gonna want to dump their hand. You play
No, I'm saying
wave.
does Mobius would counter this though, right?
Yeah, if
Yeah.
if you play wave, then no. I mean, like then your cards that are under 4 stay under 4. So you could
No,
play like a doc.
say your opponent plays Mobius on 2. Your wave now
Yeah,
does nothing, right? To them?
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, but Mobius also not coming out for like 3 weeks, so yeah.
yeah.
So
But
yeah,
also
wave
like,
can terrorize
uh,
everybody for at least 2
yeah,
weeks.
I mean,
And
like,
who knows if Mobius does anything.
but if you have Mobius and play Wave, then you
Mm.
can play a 6-drop for 4, and then you can play 2 1-drops and a 2-drop as well if you want on turn 6.
Yeah. Yeah, true. So it still works for you. Yeah.
So if you play Wave Mobius on turn 5, you can just
Mhm.
dummy them on turn 6 by playing like a
Yeah.
Doctor Doom, and then like I don't know, whatever. You can play a 2-drop. You can play one of your
Mhm.
Snow Guard location things to mess them up.
Mhm.
Whatever. You can play a lizard. You know.
True.
Um. So yeah, but all this combo centric stuff. I mean, like Alliance coming out next week. People are gonna do the Galactus Alliance wave. That kind of stuff. I think.
Mhm.
Just all this combo stuff. People want to do task Shuri on turn 6.
Yep.
Wave.
Mhm.
It's just a good card
Yeah,
in
and
this
even
meta
and
right
even
now.
Loki's like obviously they're playing a bunch of cards, right? Because they're all
Yeah,
reduced. So yeah,
it's just a
yeah,
good card on this meta right now. I think.
yeah, for sure.
Not Stonks. Oh well, this one hurt, but
Thanos.
I don't know. Yeah, Thanos. I
Yeah,
mean, I think he's gonna plummet. I think people might start playing him. The people that love Thanos are still gonna play him, but I think he's gonna see a lot less play. And when people play him more, they're gonna be like, man, this is just way too inconsistent now. Um, I think this Soulstone change hurt him a lot. I'll still play him a little bit just to get more of a feel and have more of an informed opinion. But playing him a little bit, just doesn't feel the same, and I think he's gonna go right down.
yeah,
And it's really too bad.
yeah. It doesn't make sense really, but yeah. Hopefully they fix it in a month or something.
Yeah, or do
Or
something. Take away his
play,
power, fine. Don't take away the card draw because you need
yeah,
that.
play something else, and then hopefully be back to Thanos in a month or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll see the play rate just go to the floor. Yeah, I guess if I wanted to take low hanging fruit, it's the Spider Ham, man. Just don't play this card. It's dead. It's okay. We had fun. We had the bounce meta. We had the last week, month and a half where you just literally put it in any deck. Even people who had it in B tier put it in all their decks because it was broken, and it's not a B tier card. It was one of the best cards in the game. Now it's horrible. Don't play it. Yeah, I mean, it does something. I guess if you're obsessed with hand disruption, if you play you play a rock slide, you're not going to hit a rock because they draw from the right, So I mean, it's something, but God, there's so many good 2-drops,
A rock
and
was never the highest power card anyway, so you'd never hit a rock anyway.
yeah, he never hit the rock anyway. And I mean, now we have Hawk from Snowguard, Mirage, all these crazy. Jeff's still out there. There's still some crazy 2-drops, and what are we doing? Don't play Spider Ham. He's dead.
Yeah, it's too bad. I got this, I think, from like the season pass track last month, like level like 70 or 71. I got the
Mhm.
cool little Dan Hip variant.
Yeah, that one's sick.
Hey, look, see, pig 0.
Interesting.
So if your cards get hammed for some reason, you have Mobius, probably get a 0.
Yeah, you
0
get
cost pig.
you get the raft.
Yeah, whatever. No, you're not the raft because it's your leftmost card, not a 6-drop.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
Unfortunately, it'd be great if it was the raft.
yeah,
But no, he's just horrible.
yeah.
But yeah, so that's it. That's it. Those are the
Mm.
stonks, baby. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, nice app, man. I know you gotta go. Anything you gotta
Yeah, I
say to the
gotta get out of
people?
here. Sorry, people, for not longer, but we had the long one last week, and we'll
Yeah.
rally again next week.
Yeah, next week we'll rally and we'll talk about the new cards coming out, and maybe I don't know if you know, but the new cards for October and November have all been data mined. We can maybe go through like October or
Oh
something.
yeah, let's do that. Yeah. I
Oh,
haven't looked at any of them, so
they're
I
wild.
won't look till next week.
Okay, they're wild. It'll be fun to talk about. We can get your reaction first, but yeah. I guess if you wanna YouTube us at the Super Snap Bros and Twitter/X kid_snap. Keep snapping out there, and don't worry about Loki. Everything will correct itself. Have fun.
Believe.